Let's turn to exploring the Shema discussions on the issues of Trinity and jump back into the study where we left off. Let's see if I can accelerate this a little bit, because this part of the study is a little more challenging for your average Christian because of the nature of the study. We're talking about, let me jump down into the topic and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're in this section under paper 3, who or what is the Holy Spirit? And the section is section number 4, who or what is the Holy Spirit, the Filioque debate, Eastern Orthodoxy, the Latter-day Saints, and social Trinitarian thoughts. And the reason it's a little challenging is because most of us are not into the historical discussions about East versus West, Roman Catholicism versus the Eastern Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, or Greek Orthodoxy, however you want to describe them. Most of us are probably, most people listening to my content, interacting with my videos, are of some form of evangelical Christianity perspective. So most of this is probably slightly going either over your head or around your head, around your face. It's just not catching your interest right away. So I can understand that. I can appreciate that. Let's jump down into the study and pick up where I left off. We're working from this verse, just so you know, where Yeshua is told, he's speaking in John 15:26. You can see it on my screen right now. Yeshua says, "But when the Helper comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth, who proceeds from the Father, he will bear witness about me." And the question is raised, who sends the Holy Spirit? Does he proceed from the Father and is sent from the Son? Does he proceed from the Father and the Son? Is he sent from the Father and the Son? And does it even matter? Well, around the early few centuries of the Christian church, it mattered enough that they were brought into some heated discussions on this particular verse. This wasn't the only thing driving their disagreement. A lot of it had to do with authority of who speaks to the church. Is it the one Pope in Catholicism? It wasn't called Catholicism yet. At least I don't think it was. Well, it was the Catholic Church, but my point is it wasn't defined as over and against the Orthodox Church just yet. The split took place, what we call the Great Schism, around 1054. Kind of came to a head. It had been building up to this point, the whole idea of who has the authority to speak to the body to speak to the church, to the saints. Do we have to listen to one man like the papal authority, or can we have like what we call patriarchal authority in the Orthodoxy side, where we got different patriarchs or different local leaders who can rule over their certain areas or lead different separate groups, and we all come together and have equal authority, but at the same time, we have our own locally autonomous authority. And this is in contradistinction to this one central papal figure who speaks to everyone from Rome, right? Who has the authority? That's really what drove the schism or the split. But in this particular study, germane to our study on the Holy Spirit is the idea that we're having this discussion about who sends the Father? Who sends the Spirit? Does Yeshua send the Spirit? Does the Father send the Spirit? And how does this help us understand God? If God the Father is the source of everything, if he's the ararchy, like we say in Greek, if he's the one source, the monoararchy, the monarch, then where does Yeshua's role fit in? Is he subordinate to the Father? Is he less than the Father? Is this cheapening our understanding of the Trinity if we say that only the Father can send the Spirit, that Yeshua doesn't have that power? Does this take away from and diminish from the authority of the Son, etc., etc.? These are the kind of discussions that we're having. These are kind of in line with our apologetic work on our discussions of the Holy Spirit here. So that's why we're bringing in this particular topic about the Filioque. So let's pick up the discussion where we left off. Let me see. Give me a second. See where I left off. There we go. Right here. Here's what I have to say. Additionally, we're making these quotes from either Wikipedia or from online resources. I say additionally, the Encyclopedia Britannica, the online edition, provides this information on the Filioque. The phrase Filioque, we're going to define it now in case you weren't aware. Here's what Britannica has to say. The so-called Filioque clause, Latin Filioque and the Son, or Filio, the Son, from the Son, or the Son from, and the Son, we would say, and filio, son, and the Son. This particular Latin phrase was inserted in the creed afterwards, the Holy Spirit who proceeds from the Father.